Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and today we're doing another video on the Gundam card game. Now, I see a lot of people making content on, decks that have topped these webcam locals, decks that have topped these like webcam events, but at the end of the day, I feel like they're doing super well, mainly because the average player is a little confused right now on where to start when it comes to making decks. So I would like to actually just go into my process and see if it shines some light on the situation. So I hope you guys enjoy this sort of content. And yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so to start the process, I think what has to be stated is that pilots are a very crucial part about this game. It's pretty much the part about this game that sets it apart from any other of Bandai's card games in their wheelhouse. So when you start to make a deck, because of pilots being so crucial to the game in the sense that they allow your units to attack the same turn they're put out, if they can link with them, they add crucial stats that can change your unit's ability to get touched by certain HP and AP threshold cards, are just like a huge part of the game. Now, you have too few pilots and it can really hamper your ability to get up and get going at a moment's notice. You have too many pilots and all of a sudden your deck can't move because you're not drawing cards that can be played on the field and impact the board. However, they are going to be the cornerstone of your deck. So I believe that when you start to make a deck, it's all about figuring out your crucial pilot link combo. That's going to be the cornerstone of each deck. And so looking at Suletta Mercury, right? She is just the name Suletta Mercury, but she also has the trait Academy. So when you start playing cards around Suletta, just understand that she's going to link with every Gundam aerial. Right here, Suletta Mercury down at the bottom. And this is going to be pretty much the same for every singular Gundam aerial card. However, the other thing that you will find is that a lot of these cards that have links, the ability to link in this particular card pool, are going to have Academy, which is a trait that she has, as the link. So going over here, you'll see a card like, where is it? I mean, of course, more Gundam aerials with Suletta Mercury as the link, but as you go through this set, you'll start to see cards like Darbald or Michaelis that have the Academy trait here, meaning that Suletta can link with these two. So that's going to make a generic like cornerstone for your deck. For the purpose of this video, I'm going with blue. Blue is going to be my color of choice when I'm building this example deck. And the pilot that I'm going to base this all around is none other than Amuro Ray. Notice that Amuro Ray has 3 different traits plus his name. So you have Amuro Ray, you have new type, you have white base pilot or white base team, and you have the Earth Federation. He will be the cornerstone upon which I build this deck. Now, when you go off of that, you have your main pilot, but what are you linking him to, or her? And this is going to be the next step. You want to build out your deck to where you have different cards that can hit the board and do work, but if you ever want to turn on the gas, your pilots are able to supplement that. For me personally, on this example deck that I'm going to build, I'm going to look at Gundam RX-78-2, and I'm going to see that he is the Amuro Ray link. Now, on top of that, he has Repair 2, allowing him to chump units and then gain the health back, and then during your turn, all of your units gain +1 AP. So that's going to allow you to push your 2 damages into 3 damages, your 4s into 5s, and really allow you to tear into your opponent. So I'm going to put the Gundam RX-72 or 78-2 over here. But that's not all, because we also do have a link, another LR in the set that's going to also be the exact same unit with the exact same links. And this is going to say all of your white base team units gain Repair 1, and then at the end of your turn, so Repair 1 is at the end of your turn, you're just going to repair the amount on the tooltip. But the cool thing about this is anytime you have Repair 1, Breach 1, multiple instances of this effect are going to actually have the stacking effect. So for instance, if this is on the board, and I have the other Gundam on the board, the other LR RX-78-2, it's technically going to have Repair 3 because it already has Repair 2 and is gaining an instance of Repair 1. Because of this card and the ability that when it's paired, if I have 2 or more units in play, I get to draw 1, allowing it to essentially replace the pilot that I paired with it, I'm actually just going to max out on these just to kind of show you how I'm deck building. Now, what you're seeing here are Amuro Ray and multiple different cards that are going to link with him and provide that sort of stickiness. But we are not done yet. I do want to kind of fill in some of the slots even further. And so we're going to start putting in cards like Gun Cannon. I like Gun Cannon because he's got repair 1. That's going to go to repair 2 if the LR Gundam from the set is on the board. And then when paired, he's also going to be able to choose one enemy unit with 2 or less HP and rest it. What this is going to actually be able to do is get into a kind of like slew of resting effects. Looking at Armor Array, when paired, you choose one enemy unit with 5 or less and rest it. Pairing him with something like a gun tank or a gun cannon is going to be able to rest your opponent's entire board. Like, there are just going to be times where they're just going to have 2 bodies out, maybe one's a blocker, one's not, and you'll be able to rest those and open them up to attack, chumping with certain things. So I'm going to put him in there because he links well and he does this. Now, another card that I am going to add in the deck, right, is G Fighter. There's going to be a lot of times where, actually this is probably a little later in the video, but I'm just building out the white base team Earth Federation core, okay? A lot of cards that can be linked with. But when it comes to G Fighter, if you look at this card, if you remember it from the beta, this guy has a deploy, choose one of your white base team units. It gains high maneuver during this turn, and that means the unit can't be blocked. It also has a white base team trait, allowing it to be linked with Amuro as well. So I'm actually going to put this one in here, right? Just as a 2-of for now. We might go up on it as we get space, but this is a card that'll easily allow you to play it out and make so far any of the units that I've put in here immediately go in for the ability to just do damage and not be blocked, which is very important in a white centric format. Now, we're going to take a quick break from the pilot synergy along with the units to add in some staple cards. Most of you guys know that drawing is very, very important, and it really does add on a lot to your deck. So right here, I'm going to add in just 4 show of resolves. Again, we're just doing some cookie cutter stuff here, but we're going to add in 4 show of resolves because that's going to add consistency. And while we're at it, since we can add in a second color, we're going to go all the way over here to pick up some draw power in white 2, which is going to be the overflowing affections. And we're just going to set this at 4 as well. Are these the correct ratios? Not sure, but like I said, this is just to show you guys where we are going right now. After we do that, we're going to switch back out to blue, and we're going to start trying to complete this. Now, looking at these cards, you're already kind of noticing a trend. You got a lot of white base team that can link with this. However, now we're going to have to start looking at a support pilot. And when I say a support pilot or a supplementary pilot, I mean a pilot that's going to be able to link with a lot of the cards you're already putting in your deck, but also just be able to provide a good pairing for a lot of these cards. As you guys know, some of these cards don't even need to be linked when paired if you have 2 or more in play. Also, this Gundam as well when paired, so you don't always need to give them rush. Now, when we look at a card like Sayla, this fits in everything that we need it to fit in. Sayla Mass is Earth Federation, white base team, and new type, having that triple trait that is very, very rare to find amongst these cards. On top of the triple trait, she's also going to say while this unit is blue, it gains repair 1. For a lot of units, this is not going to do the absolute most, just going to give repair 1, which is kind of negligible because a lot of things don't have 1 AP. However, on cards that already have repair, such as Gun Cannon, it's going to make this a 3-4 repair 2, which is a very respectable stat line. It's going to make this LR Gundam a 4-5 repair 3, which is insane. If you don't one-shot it, it's just not leaving the board. So right here, I'm going to end up hitting for Sayla Mass. Now, in a lot of cases, you will kind of end up seeing that you could go anywhere from 8 to maybe even 11 pilots. I think 12 is kind of pushing it, but yeah, right now we have the ability to link with almost everything we have here between our 2 pilots. Now, filling in the kind of generic good slots, we do have cards like the Rizal. It's a vanilla, it cannot link, but its stat line is incredibly important to clearing some of the most popular blockers in the game right now, like Elfrith. Also, just with minimal investment, it can like destroy a base. Like when you have this, I'm sorry, wrong one. When you have this Gundam on the board and it's paired, the Rizal becomes a 5 AP card, meaning it one-shots most bases, and it takes a lot of bodies with it, even if they're linked. So this guy's definitely got to go up to the 4 slot. So now we're at 34 cards and we're still kind of getting there. We are going to add in a couple more things just for the sake of having the deck filled. But as you can see, we are building a pretty cool core of cards. It's just facts. So going over now, you're probably wondering, where do we go from here? Well, what this deck is currently lacking is a little bit of finishing power. And so I do want to add in just a little bit more. And what that is going to be, factually, is, well, funnily enough, is going to be the Gundam Unicorn Destroy mode. This is where the list can kind of get a little out of like, okay, where do you want to go with this versus what's tech space? But what I do know is that this card puts out a lot of finishing pressure. You're able to attack, choose an enemy unit, and rest it. It costs 6, but you're going to be able to just get a blocker out of the way on attack, or potentially open up something to get chumped with another card. So for now, I'm going to put 2 Unicorn Destroy modes, because you'll find that with Overflowing Affection, Show of Resolve, we actually have a fair amount of draw that's actually supplemented by the fact that Gundam is going to replace the pilot you pair with it, as long as it's paired and you have the correct field set up to go into it. So we will be putting 2 of those in, and then to round it off, to make sure that our finisher can have rush, we're going to put 2 Benagers in the deck as well. This card only links to the Unicorn Gundam, which makes it kind of narrow, but at the same time, what Benager is going to do when it links to the Unicorn Gundam is draw me a card, replacing himself in hand, which is, as you can see, a kind of cool theme of the deck. And then on top of that, we are going to have the ability for him to give +2/+2 to other cards, making them just mad tanky. You don't have to pair him to the Gundam, or to Gundam Unicorn, but even when you have a card like this and all you want it to do is give you the draw, you can make this a 5/5 with repair 1 and give him the draw just by pairing Benager there. So you don't really lose a lot of momentum from this. So now we're at 38, right? And what we are generally missing are some lower to the ground cards, because we don't have a lot that comes out early game. We have our draw, we have our pilots, we have exactly 10 pilots, but we are missing bases and we're missing low to the ground cards. So right here, I think that it's kind of a no-brainer. When it comes to bases, you could run anywhere between 4 and 6 bases. I think that 4 is the minimum that you will need, because you do sometimes just need some cards that help you not get immediately have your life ran through. But we are going to put in 4 white base here. I think this deck is more of a punch you in the face deck and ruin your cards through attacking than it's going to be a sit and let the game go on too long deck. So that's, I think, going to be the main influence on where you put your cards. If the game is going to go extremely long, right, you might want to have closer to 6 bases so that you can have more cards that protect your shields while you're getting to that late game point. But I don't think this deck necessarily is going to be that sort of deck. You also do need some cards that come out towards the beginning that at least will harass the EX base or potentially perform chunk damage when you swing into things or when you pair them or things like that. So I will be adding in the GM just to have it. The GM will be able to just fill that slot in the early game. And now, as you can see, I have 4 slots left, and it's not a lot. There's not a lot of space here, but there's still things that we can do. So there's a couple of options. I can add in more high end or more low end. That's essentially where we are with this list right now. And right now, my main choices are the 2 cards that I actually was just hovering over. Now there are some other cards that we can put in here. There are a lot of cool options. You could put a Delta Plus here. Delta Plus will actually link with Amuro. It'll also link with Sayla, and Sayla will make it a 5/4 that has repair 2. Amuro will just make it a 6/4 that rests something when it comes in. So Delta Plus is a thing, but it comes out a little later. Gun Tank is a cool card that can help clean up, but Gun Tank is best right now used when you have other cards that actually link, or that actually do ping damage as well. And then moving over here, you have some cool vanillas. You have cards like the Jagan that's gonna come down and have a lower cost if you have the Sworn board. You have cards like the Stark Jagan, which is gonna be pretty cool. It has repair 1. You can pair Salo to make this a 4/4, repair 2 for 3. That's also pretty good. All these are decent cards, but I think for the sake of the test video, what I want to hit is one of these, because the gun tank is going to be able to be a card that gets played out fairly early, has a 2-3 body, can be made a 3-4 with Sayla and given repair, can be made a 4-4 with Amuro and rest one thing when it comes in, another thing when you pair Amuro with it. I think that right now this is a decent card to have. Thinking about it, it really helps you get over some of the aggro matches, putting some of their stuff to the side and immediately clearing it with other bodies on board. It helps you get rid of cards like the Zoart, which have a 3-2 stat line. Doesn't really help against Ilfrith, but it is a tech thing. Another card I could put in here is the Gundam MA form, because the Gundam MA form, when it's paired, will help you draw one, and it has a link with Armor Ray, allowing some slap shots, pairing it up to what, a 6-4 attacker, and that's actually pretty decent, and it's going to replace itself at the same time, keeping your deck moving overall. I think at the end of the day, I do want some more low to the ground, so I think honestly I'll just hit a 2-2 split. And now what we have here, once we fit all of that in, is if we actually just do the view deck button, right? What we've got here is what your turn 1, if you have the EX resource, or turn 2 if not, can be a GM. Your turn 2 or 3 if you have the your 3 if you're going first, 2 if you have the EX resource, is going to be a mixture of gun cannon, gun tank if you need to open something up, maybe if you played a 1 and then a 2 gun tank and then swing into it. You can have the Rezol come out, and then as early as your turn 3/4, you have the ability to play out any of these or one of these Gundams. And this could be a setup for next turn, this could be a pairing with Amuro, this could be a setup if you've already been playing out a card, and then you move into the following turn and you play this and pair it, you can get a draw to just continue your deck's momentum. You've got the ability to make a quick link and then draw and then swing, or even make a quick pair and then draw and just have it for next turn. As a finisher, you have the ability to drop out Unicorn and put Benager on it, swing, rest something, potentially open up that card to be attacked on with any of your other field. Sayla, Mass, and Amore. If you look at this spread real quick, Sayla links with just actually 2 cards here, just links with 2 cards, but she's going to give repair to pretty much everything that's in here that she could pair with, and on top of that, she's actually going to fit in and trigger 1, 2, 3, 4 different on pair effects while giving general synergy to them as well. Meanwhile, Amuro is going to link with almost everything in the deck, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your different cards. Also, I forgot to say earlier, but shout out to Egman Deck Builder. This is what I'm using right here. And then yeah, there's actually a lot of cool stuff here. But yeah, you move on from that, and what you have here is Benager to close out the games. He can also pair with any of these things just to give it more stats. Like a Rezol with Benager on it is literally a 6-5 beater. So yes, there's only 2 in here, and you generally want to save 1 for this, but you've got that. You've got white base to spawn cards. You play a white base early, you can just use it to make tokens and then play around it. And then just to bridge the consistency, you've got some draw cards. Not saying this is going to go in and tear down a tournament, but I think this is at least a usable deck to run at locals to get used to the game. And I just wanted to show you guys my general process for putting a deck together. So thank you guys for watching, and then just stay tuned because I do want to let you guys know about a couple things after this. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments if this helped you guys. I guess my general rule of thumb is that for a lot of decks, I have a primary pilot, a supplementary pilot, and this could be either a pilot that has a lot of synergy or a pilot that just links with your secondary key link. And then I feel like a lot of decks do end up having a third pilot that's in there. Maybe he's a pilot, maybe he or she is a pilot command, maybe it's just a third pilot specifically for getting just supplementary links in, pairings, good stats, good effects, things like that. If you can run draw, please run draw. It does help your consistency, but some decks are just more powerful and don't have it. There are a lot of times where at this current state of the game, you do need game enders. You need guys that can get a blocker out of the way and punch through for game. You need guys that can get linked and burn through bases, and that's why I have the Unicorn in here, but that looks different for every other deck. A good curve is necessary. Like, I know this deck doesn't start playing cards until like turn 2 or 3, free for the most part, but a good curve does do wonders for every single deck you can play. So like I said, I hope this deck list video, I hope this how to build a deck video really did help you guys. And if you have different comments, put them down the bottom. If you want me to do decks like this or videos like this for other archetypes or archetype of your choice, leave a comment there. I'm always open to ideas and working through workshops, and this is going to be just a really fun time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the video if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more Gundam card game content in the future, as well as Dragon Ball Super Fusion World content. And realistically, just go in the description so you can check out the links to my sponsors, Hyper Beam Cards as well as Mystic TCG. They are both excellent stores, one, the former based out of Tijuana and the latter based out of Missouri, that'll help you find the TCG products you need. Gundam's a little scarce right now, that you never know when restocks are going to happen, and you never know what will end up on their online store. So thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Later.